Well, hello there. It is I. Yes, I'm back. And you probably saw the thumbnail and saw the title, so this is going to be a little different than the usual wacky videos I usually post. I just felt like getting a little bit of stuff off my chest about the state of the country. Because one thing YouTube really needs is one more person giving their 2 cents about the state of the country. 2 weeks ago today, since I like to talk about music and post things related to music, it's not lost on me that 2 weeks ago today, Quincy Jones died. And I would like to do another vlog video talking about Quincy Jones. I would like to talk about my experience seeing Stevie Wonder. Shout out to all the people who saw my Stevie Wonder videos. I would like to talk about my experience seeing Jelly Roll. Shout out to all the people who saw Jelly Roll. I would even like to talk about seeing Andre 3000 or Andy Summers. Shout out to all the people who saw those videos. But this is going to be a little different. Today I'm talking about that damn election. Specifically, there's a lot of dumb people. First off, I'm probably going to piss off anybody watching this because I'm pretty sure that I'm going to say something that will annoy whoever's watching this because all of y'all are fucking stupid. Let us first start with the media. Everybody's favorite pinata, the media. Now, the media would have you think that America has been taken over by a bunch of sexist, racist, lying, hypocritical bigots. To quote Dolly Parton, Jane Fonda, and Lily Tomlin. As if prior to 2 weeks ago, this country did not have racist, sexist, lying, hypocritical bigots already. I guess next week the media will tell you that the sky is blue and water is wet. Although pretty soon Robert F. Kennedy might disagree with that part about the water. Here's a little bit of facts. In 2016, the popular vote for Hillary was 65 million people. The popular vote for Trump was 62 million people. A 2 million difference. Not enough for her to get over the Electoral College. That's another story. But the point is, that was the popular vote. She actually got more votes than Trump, but not enough to get her over the hump. In 2020, Biden, remember him? And I will talk about him later. Biden got 81 million votes to Trump's 74 million votes. Trump gained 12 million more voters in 4 years. Biden got 81 million, the most votes of anybody who ever got elected president. As of yesterday, Sunday, I believe the date is November 17th. As of this past weekend, final votes are starting to be confirmed. Kamala. If you all on the right can pronounce Vivek Ramaswamy, you all can damn well say Kamala. Kamala got 73 million votes. Trump got 76 million votes. He gained 2 million votes. Kamala got more votes than Hillary got. Kamala got more votes than Obama ever got. So this narrative that America is flat out racist and sexist, while there is some truth in that, it's not as true as people want to spin it. Because if it was truly that racist and that sexist, she would not have gotten 73 million votes. That's not how this works. The problem is that she did not get as many votes as Biden. She lost 8 to 9 million of Biden's votes. And let's say for argument's sake that additional 2 million votes that Trump gained were disgruntled Biden voters. That still means that there were 5 million voters up for grabs that Kamala could have gotten. What the media should have said is that 6 million people who voted last time decide to sit this one out. That is the real story. That is the story that nobody I've heard wants to admit. This was hers to win. There's a 3 million difference of voters between her and Trump. But 5 million people just said, we don't like either of y'all. So allow me, first off, to address the reasons as to why I think Trump won. Trump was not going to lose his base. You're working with 74 million people. At that point, you just have to hope that the other person does not exceed your 74 million people. And what did Trump do? Whether you like Trump or not, he did 2 things that got him to win. One, he went everywhere. Well, not quite everywhere, because he was conspicuously absent on CNN, NBC, New York Times, Washington Post. He was conspicuous. He had a hissy fit and decided not to do an interview with 60 Minutes. But he went everywhere else. He went to Logan Paul. He went to Joe Rogan. Hell, he even went to a fellow WWE Hall of Famer, The Undertaker, and did his podcast. He went to New Mexico. New Mexico's a blue state. But he was smart. Because by going to New Mexico, he peeled off some votes from the Democrats. He went to New York, a state he didn't have a hope in hell of winning. A state that, by the way, has convicted him multiple times. But he peeled off some votes. That was the first thing that helped him. Second thing that helped him was all these stupid ads about Kamala and trans people, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. It wasn't even so much the race thing as it was transphobia that helped get him to win. I can't tell you, I live in Atlanta, the Atlanta area. I can't tell you how many ads I saw about either trans people or illegal immigrants in Georgia. Now, personally, I don't know what the hell a person having a sex change in prison is going to do to somebody's life, but apparently it scared the hell out of somebody. Because you can get far in America by scaring people. For years, all you had to do was scare white people by bringing up black people. Later on, All you had to do was scare people by talking about gay marriage. Remember 2004? That's what helped get George Bush reelected. Gay marriage. And later on, it was illegal immigrants. Now, the new boogeyman, trans. To have these people spin it, people just running around the streets, snatching young kids and cutting off their parts. And by the way, on a side note, I can't help but find it curious that they're more concerned about the boy transitioning into a girl avenue and not so much the girl transitioning into a boy avenue. But that's another story. So those are the two things that got Trump reelected. The fact that he did every city, everywhere, talking to everyone who wasn't legit media, and the fact that his people scared the hell out of other people with trans and illegals. Well played. Now, here's what lost Kamala. First thing that lost her, she did the opposite. She didn't go everywhere. Yeah, I know, she went to The View and she went to a couple of podcasts here and there. I saw her on Shannon Sharp. But why didn't she go on Logan Paul? Why didn't she go on Joe Rogan's show? Why didn't she go to the barbershops, to the synagogues, to the mosque? Everywhere. Where was she? Oh, that's right. Yucking it up with Megan Thee Stallion. No. Trump had a 3-year head start on you. To your, what, 3.5 months? You got to go everywhere. What was the point of Tim Walz? I get that there are people, i.e. white people, who just aren't sold. I mean, it was hard enough to get a black man with a funny name elected president twice. But at the end of the day, he was still a guy. Now you're trying to sell a woman of color to people who aren't sold on that. That's what you should have used Tim Walz for. You should have sent Tim Walz to Western PA, to Pittsburgh. I used to live in the Pittsburgh area, Westmoreland County to be exact. The same place where Trump gave his infamous Arnold Palmer speech. There's no way in hell you could have sent Kamala there, but you could have sent Tim Walz there to talk to those people. He knows those people. He came from those people. You should have sent Tim Walz to every rural white spot on the map and talked to them, but you didn't. Another thing that lost her the election was, where was her smear campaign? Where was her PACs putting out ads everywhere about how Trump is a convicted felon? Where was her PACs putting out ad about how when Trump was president, 1 million people died from COVID? They totally fumbled the ball on that. Where was the attack ad saying that Trump filed for bankruptcy 6 times and his big idea to resurrect the economy is tariffs, which will torpedo the economy? I'll wait. But that's just her. Oh, here's another thing I forgot. When she went on The View and said that there was nothing she would have changed during her term as vice president, that also lost her the election because Joe Biden, God bless him, he is not popular right now. And when you go on national television and say that there's nothing you would have changed when people are crying about eggs and crying about bacon, even though, I mean, honestly, you need to worry about your cholesterol, you're worrying about bacon and eggs. But when people are crying about groceries and other people are crying about what's going on in Gaza, and you're going to say, and they're killing you on illegal immigrants, and you're going to say there's nothing you would have changed? Look here. Inflation has gone down in the last year. Not enough to people's liking, but it has gone down. Wall Street is killing it right now. That doesn't mean anything to the average Joe on the street, but the economy is doing fine for now. You should have talked about the economy. You should have talked about how you supported student loan forgiveness. You should have hit people over the head with your health care plan instead of saying I have a concept of a plan. But you didn't. That leads me to Joe Biden. For all the people crying about what Joe should have done, should not have done, where the hell were these people last year? Last summer, Barack Obama, the Clintons, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, all these people should have sat Joe's butt down in a chair last summer, summer of 2023, and told him, Joe, we love you. We appreciate everything you did, but damn it, you're old. You're like Clint Eastwood old right now. We can't, and nobody. One thing, look, you can't get two people right now to agree on pizza toppings, but one thing I think we can all agree on in this country is that nobody wanted a Biden versus Trump sequel. They should have sat him down and told him, Joe, we can't let you run. We will not support you if you run. You will not have the backing of the money people if you run. So go make a statement in September. Tell the public that you're not running. You support an open primary and you are endorsing Kamala Harris as your VP for president, but you will leave it to the voters to decide who they want. That shit should have been done last year. And maybe, just maybe, it would have gave Kamala more of a fighting chance. Another thing they messed up on is they had 3 years to make Kamala the face of the campaign, to school her, to mold her, to get her ready, to get her in front of all the cameras. They should have done a media blitz with Kamala. None of this, well, I know she's been vice president, and I know she was in the Senate, and I know she was attorney general, but I just don't know her because we never had tea together. No. They should have spent 2.5 years getting her ready for prime time, but they didn't. So, hey, that is the epitome of fuck around and find out. Speaking of fucking around and find out, let's now turn our attention to MAGA. So let me see if I get this straight. You're complaining about the cost of groceries because You're so stupid. I told you I would offend everybody. You're so stupid. You don't know how the economy works. Because in your little brain, you think that presidents, all presidents, I don't care who's the president, has a magic switch that determines the cost of gas and groceries. Let me help you out here. If any president, I don't care who the president is, Democrat, Republican, Jedi Knight, I don't care. If a president could control the cost of gas, don't you think during every election the cost of gas would be 50 cents a gallon? If a president, any president, could control the cost of your precious little groceries to get your precious little bacon and your precious little eggs, don't you think eggs would be a penny and bacon would be a nickel? You stupid fucks. But no, instead of taking it up with Walmart or Kroger or Publix, instead of wondering why the same corporations that put high fructose fruit syrup that's making your kids have, hey, look, you ain't got to worry about your kids turning trans because there's enough high fructose syrup in the food to give all the boys titties. Instead of worrying about that, you think a president all of a sudden has a magic wand that controls the cost of things. So yeah. So your solution to that was to elect a guy who's filed for bankruptcy 6 times, who crashed a casino in Atlantic City. I want you to think about that. Gambling. How do you lose money with gambling in Atlantic City? Well, let's start by the fact that you ain't paying your workers and the unions want to go on strike. But he's for the working man. And his big solution to fix the economy, that's already doing fine, by the way, but to make it better is tariffs. Okay? Because you are going to pay for them tariffs on all them imports. Those nice iPhones you like, those iPhones that aren't made here, that are made in another country, those Androids you like, that are made in another country, those cars you like, with those parts that come from another country, yeah, okay. But maybe you're somebody who says, I buy all American. Okay. So what happens if he kicks out all the illegals? Then what? You know, those illegals who are working those jobs you don't want to work, or getting paid those wages you would never accept because they're lowballing those immigrants rather than pay American workers $20 an hour. It's cheaper to pay Jose $12 an hour, and Jose will gladly take it. Then what? You think they're going to suddenly start paying American workers $20 an hour when the cost of goods from overseas has now gone up because of them tariffs at the construction site? Okay? So, yeah. Great. That's a good one. So, at the end of the day, I'm just going to sit here and just enjoy the circus. I just can't wait. In about 6 to 7 weeks, the circus will be back in town. The clowns will show up. And this time, we get to see if America can still pull its head out of the lion's mouth. Well, this concludes my State of the Union. Please, for the one person who I haven't pissed off right now, please feel free to like the video. Until next time, I will see you, you will see me, we will see each other sing the sideshow commence. Until then, see you later.